Welcome to session 6B, Further Inquiry. In this session, we're going to look over a checklist to help guide our writing. Okay, so we have a mentor essay of a middle school literary essay to look at, but now we need to know how to get from our claim and reasons and our quotes and summaries to create sentences and paragraphs in order to convince our reader to believe us about our characters. Well, there's hope. The argument writing checklist for 6th grade. I know it looks overwhelming right now, but as we break it down, it will help us be successful in our endeavor to write an amazing middle school literary essay. So stick with me and it will all make sense in the end and make writing your essay so much easier. Okay, here's the first category on the checklist. It's structure, how to organize your writing. We'll break it down more in just a minute. Okay, then there's development, how you choose your words, your evidence and vocabulary. And finally, there's conventions. Conventions are spelling, punctuation, and sentence structure. Okay, a lot of information, I know. Let's break this down a bit. Most of these ideas you're already going to know. This is just a reminder to make sure you include them when you go to write your essay. Okay, here's the first category, structure, how you organize your writing. Okay, so your overall structure should explain a topic, have a position that can be supported, build your argument, and lead to a conclusion. You want to make sure that it makes sense and that you've actually made your point, what you're trying to convince your reader to believe. Okay, now to do that, you're going to start with a lead. In a lead, you clearly state your claim and you explain to your readers how your text is going to unfold. In other words, you provide your 2 to 3 reasons ahead of time so they know what they're going to see when they go to read the rest of your essay. You also want to make sure you use transitions. You want to use transitions to explain and support your argument. Some examples for transitions would be, for instance, in addition, one reason, furthermore, according to, and this evidence suggests. I know there's a lot more transitions that you've practiced and worked with over time, but these are just some suggestions you might want to use in this type of writing. Okay, so we have a lead, we have some transitions. You also want to make sure you have an ending. You want to make sure that you restate your important points and that the end strengthens the overall argument. You want to make sure that whatever you say at the end of your essay ends with a powerful statement. This is the last thing your reader is going to read, and you want to make sure that it covers your topic, strengthens your argument, and leaves with something powerful, something with strength, so that your reader believes what you have to say. And you want to make sure you organize yourself. You want to make sure you arrange your reasons and evidence purposefully and that you lead your readers from one claim or reason to another. Okay, so that's structure. Some of these things you already know. See, you just need to put them back into your brain to make sure you add them to your essay. Now that you're reminded, easy peasy. That's structure. Next, development. The first category of development and how you choose your words, your evidence, and vocabulary would be elaboration. You want to have a variety of evidence. Don't just stick to the same thing. You want to have things like facts, quotes, examples, definitions, and you also want to make sure that you explain how the reasons and evidence support the claim and strengthen your argument. In other words, you want to explain your thinking. You want to show how your claim and your evidence are connected, how both of those things work together to prove that you know what you're talking about, that you're a smarty pants and you got this. You also want to use craft. You want to make sure you choose your words carefully in order to support your argument and be effective for your reader. You want to make sure your piece sounds serious. You are making a point and you're trying to get your reader to believe you, so you want to choose your words carefully and make sure they sound serious, not flippant and not silly, because you are making a point. All right, now we're going to talk about conventions. This is our last category. We're talking about spelling, punctuation, and sentence structure. This stuff you really do already know. It's just a quick reminder. So the first thing is spelling. You need to make sure the words in your writing are spelled correctly. Of course you do. You don't want to have spelling errors confuse your reader because then they won't believe you. They won't think you're credible. You also want to make sure you have good punctuation and sentence structure. You want to use punctuation such as dashes, colons, parentheses, and commas to help you include or connect information in some of your sentences. And you want to make sure that you punctuate quotes and citations correctly. Again, of course you do. You don't want your punctuation and spelling to confuse your reader. You want them to understand and therefore believe you. Okay, so that's the checklist. It's pretty much just a visual reminder to include what you already know about writing a middle school literary essay, an argument essay wherein you are trying to convince your reader about the personality of your character. Okay, now it's time for your response. Find the exit ticket for section 6B. Make sure you read all the directions before you start. You don't want to make a silly mistake and get confused later on. Don't forget, you can rewind, pause, and rewatch this video as many times as you need, so use it as a resource. Okay, off you go.